We are live in 3, 2, 1.
That the measures taken by Boeing after the first accident were not enough to avoid the second accident.
Boeing is under criminal investigation after 2 deadly plane crashes in the past 6 months.
What I've really struggled with, actually, is the people around me who need help.
A new campaign at BYU aims to help students and faculty become more aware of the mental health challenges that many people face.
Safety for our community, safety for the pedestrians, safety for motorists as well.
The Provo Police Department is taking extra measures to make sure the city's crosswalks are safe. Welcome to Newsline. It's March 21st, 2019. I'm Amy Hamilton.
And I'm Allison Caffrey. The Provo City Police are monitoring crosswalks and they're educating people on how to cross them safely.
Taylor Osler is live in Provo. Taylor, why are Provo Police cracking down on crosswalks now?
It's for safety reasons. Now that it's spring, more people are spending time outdoors going for a stroll, so there are more people using crosswalks. But that's not the only reason police are out and about.
The Provo City Police Department is observing crosswalks throughout the city to ensure safety for pedestrians and motorists. The officers hope to educate the public on crosswalk safety. The Utah Department of Public Safety gifted Provo Police a grant that would pay for 20 overtime shifts for officers. They are issuing warnings and even citations if necessary.
When we're looking at pedestrian and crosswalk laws, there's an expectation of due diligence on the pedestrian as well as the motorist.
Although police officers are patrolling crosswalks all around Provo, they are especially focusing on high pedestrian areas. These areas include 560 North, 900 East near the King Henry Apartments, all 700 North south of BYU campus, and Center Street.
We have a lot of crosswalks that cross Center Street, and really it's kind of a high-density area.
There are different factors that affect when and how a pedestrian should cross.
When there's a signal at the crosswalk, pedestrians should wait until it gives them the right-of-way to go ahead and cross.
In some of these areas where there are no lights to control crossing, pedestrians can pick up flags at the corner to walk across safely. When there is no traffic light at the crosswalk, pedestrians should yield to traffic. But pedestrians do have the right-of-way when they have entered the crosswalk.
Once they have stepped foot on the roadway, motorists have an obligation to stop. Specifically, lawfully, they are required to stop for a pedestrian that is on their half of the roadway.
Police say pedestrians should never cross streets diagonally and recommend they take their headphones out when crossing. The officers will monitor crosswalks until the end of April.
By helping the public be more informed, police believe there will be less accidents, making the community safer for pedestrians and motorists. This is Taylor Osler reporting live from Provo.
Thanks, Taylor.
A man shot himself after he was involved in a drive-by shooting at a gas station last night. Police have identified 24-year-old Jose Luis Garcia as the suspect that shot Ray Paul Willie Vasquez at a Maverick. Police chased the driver down and found the car in Cottonwood Heights. Garcia then fled and crashed the car into a fence at Peruvian Park Elementary School. When police approached the vehicle, they found Garcia had shot himself inside of the car.
Police have identified the woman who died in a head-on crash on a Cache County highway. Bonnie J. Reeder from Hyde Park was killed when the driver of the truck she was in crossed the median and drove into oncoming traffic, hitting a minivan. When first responders arrived, they began CPR and got a pulse, but Reeder was pronounced dead upon arrival at the Ogden Regional Hospital. Both drivers of the 2 cars are in stable condition, and investigators are looking at fatigue or medical conditions as causes of the crash.
A West Jordan man has been charged with a 3rd-degree felony for threatening to kill a judge. 43-year-old John Alden Powell used a 7-Eleven phone to call police and threaten to kill a judge because he said he wanted to be sent back to prison. West Jordan police say officers are familiar with Powell and he has a history of calling 911 and stating that he would like to go back to jail or prison.
One of the biggest aircraft manufacturers is under the microscope. The Boeing company has been subpoenaed by the U.S. Justice Department. This comes after 2 Boeing planes crashed in similar fashion within the past 5 months. John Lawrence is in Washington with the story.
Boeing is being probed.
This is no small potatoes. Enormous amounts of taxpayer money that could be spent on other things.
The Justice Department is investigating Boeing's certification and marketing for its 737 MAX planes. 2 have crashed since October. The more recent was Ethiopian Airlines Flight 302 earlier this month.
We're united with our airline customers, international regulators, and government authorities in our efforts to support the most recent investigation, understand the facts of what happened, and help prevent future tragedies.
But sources briefed on the matter say the DOJ's criminal investigation started after the October crash of a Lion Air flight in Indonesia.
What happens, in fact, is that the measures taken by Boeing after the first accident were not enough to avoid the second accident.
Analysts say insufficient training was likely a factor.
It must have been just horrifying in the cockpit for these professionals. I mean, it's been stated, well, it should have been a memory item. Well, clearly it wasn't.
Also, a separate investigation is looking into whether Acting Defense Secretary Patrick Shanahan violated ethics rules by boosting products from Boeing, his former employer. He denies the claim.
If that is true, he needs to be fired, and we need to find out why this happened.
I'm John Lawrence reporting.
Officials from the NTSB, FAA, and Department of Transportation Inspector General are set to speak at a Senate hearing on air travel safety next week. The hearing will specifically reference the grounding of the Boeing 737 MAX aircraft. The committee also plans to hold an additional hearing on aviation safety in the near future that would include Boeing.
The Midvale-based American internet retailer Overstock is laying off nearly 250 employees in 2 months. The recent layoffs are coming after a disappointing year in 2018. 2018, the company made almost $200 million less in pre-tax income than in the previous years. With these changes in employment, Overstock looks like it's on track to reach its goal of profitability this year.
The Logan City Council will make a decision about banning plastic bags later in the year. The City Council made the decision to postpone a vote on the ban after city leaders could not reach an agreement on the issue. City Councilman Herm Olson says that the amount of plastic bags in their landfills is massive and believes a restriction on retailers would help. Other city leaders say the problem is beyond just banning plastic bags and there must be more long-term solutions. Had the city agreed on the ordinance, Logan would be the third city in Utah to adopt the ban.
BYU Students Association is kicking off its third annual Why Mental Health Matters campaign. Newsline's Ty Mullen is live on campus right now. Ty, why is BYUSA focusing on mental health?
Mental health can affect just about anybody, but college students are especially at risk due to their poor diets, lack of sleep, and high stress.
I feel like the first thing you have to do is recognize that all of us are vulnerable and we're all human.
Eliza Hume first got involved with Why Mental Health Matters last year when she helped with the production of the campaign video. Through that experience, Elsa says she has learned to understand people's struggles on a more personal level.
For me, the biggest thing that this campaign has done and my future hopes for this campaign is that it can just connect students to students.
As part of this year's campaign, BYUSA has created Find Strength, Give Strength, an art exhibit on the 5th floor of the HVAC. The exhibit aims to bring students together regardless of where they are on the mental health spectrum. This year, BYUSA partnered with several other campus organizations to fight the stigma around mental health. One of those partners, BYU Counseling and Psychological Services, is a core resource for struggling students as it offers free counseling. CAPS has come under fire recently as it tries to meet the demand for its services. That demand skyrocketed after a BYU student's suicide sent waves of emotion through campus in early December.
I think the university is trying. It's a big problem and there's no easy fix, but I think they're doing what they can.
I feel like there is a lot of resources, but people don't know about them. And so I think awareness is pretty low.
In order to address the problem of awareness, BYUSA has been operating a booth in one of BYU's busiest buildings, the Wilkinson Center, where they are giving away 540 campaign t-shirts, 500 stickers, and 100 lunchboxes. The campaign is running from March 18th to March 29th, with a variety of panels, forums, a fair, and even yoga taking place.
For the whole campaign schedule, check out whymentalhealthmatters.squarespace.com. For Newsline, this is Ty Mullen reporting live.
Thanks, Ty.
Thank you.
A deadly eruption at a chemical plant in China. We'll tell you what caused the explosion and show you more of the fiery video.
If I have my time, I have an airplane, I can go help out.
People stranded in the Midwest from the floods are getting help from above. We'll show you how. The volunteers are taking over the skies in the Midwest.
Netflix finally releases the trailer for Stranger Things Season 3. Find out what people are saying about it and find out how the fans are reacting to the long-awaited preview.
Parts of the Midwest is still under flooding warnings. Find out what town is completely underwater.
See on page 4 that the projections need to be earthquake next Thursday.
Seriously? Thursday? Can't do that.
This is really inconvenient.
I have yoga that day. I have no time for this.
So I can't do Thursday, but I can do Friday.
Disasters don't plan ahead. You can. Talk to your loved ones about how you're going to be ready in an emergency. Don't wait. Communicate.
Planning the right amount of food is hard. The Guestimator makes it easy. Just tell it who's coming and what's for dinner. Then it tells you how much to make. And yes, it even plans for leftovers. Try it at savethefood.com.
When they test you, stand firm and move only when you hear the seatbelt click that says they're buckled in for the drive. Never give up till they buckle up.
I don't remember how it started. Our back and forth. It always came back. Dad! You probably don't remember what you told me,
That was perfect.
but I heard every word.
Six days after mass shootings at 2 New Zealand mosques left 50 people dead, the country's Prime Minister is announcing significant gun control legislation. Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern is calling for the ban of all weapons that were used in the shooting. This includes military-style semi-automatic weapons, all assault rifles, and all high-capacity magazines. Prime Minister Ardern feels that the country will support her decision.
We as a government feel absolutely confident that the vast majority of New Zealanders will support this change. I feel incredibly confident of that.
The proposal will be introduced to New Zealand's Parliament early next month. That means many people who legally own certain firearms will no longer be able to possess them. However, those affected will be allowed to safely surrender those weapons to police.
Take a look at this video behind me of a massive chemical explosion. The explosion happened last night at a pesticide plant in eastern China, and the blast was so powerful that the China Earthquake Administration detected a magnitude 2.2 earthquake. At least 6 people are dead from the blast, and dozens, including children, are severely wounded. Officials say rescue operations are ongoing, and the environmental impact from that blast is still being investigated.
With Parliament now gridlocked over Brexit, Prime Minister Theresa May is forced to go to the European Union and ask them for an extension to the 30th of June.
This delay is a matter of great personal regret for me.
She is now trying to urge the House of Commons to support her deal and leverage public frustration at lack of progress over Brexit to do it. After 2 failed attempts to pass Brexit terms with the House of Commons, an extension will be necessary if Great Britain seeks to leave the EU with minimal damage to their economy.
On Tuesday, the FDA approved a new drug specifically intended for people struggling with postpartum depression. The drug is called Zulresso, and it's administered as a single 60-hour IV drip. Postpartum depression affects an estimated 1 in 9 mothers after childbirth, and without treatment, the symptoms can last for months or even years. In the past, the treatment options have included counseling and antidepressants. Of the women who were given Zulresso, half no longer displayed signs of clinical depression, and 75% saw a 50% improvement in their symptoms. Zulresso will be available beginning in June, but only providers in certified healthcare facilities will be able to administer the treatment initially.
Apple is releasing a new version of their wireless headphones called AirPods 2, which the company claims will be more magical than ever. Last night, Apple announced that their AirPods are available to order on Apple.com and the Apple Store app, and will be available in Apple stores next week. The new generation of the headphones will be more efficient, faster, provide more talk time, and features a hands-free Hey Siri feature. The battery case also comes with a wireless charging feature.
Some volunteer pilots are on a mission this week while taking to the skies over Nebraska. They're delivering supplies to the flood victims, and even they're saving some people from those rising waters. Reporter Manson Murrow took one of the rides with a local pilot.
a view from up in the air. Pilot Adam Liston behind the controls. But it's not just a Sunday stroll in the sky. It's a rescue.
I thought, I have my time, I have an airplane, I can go help out.
Liston planned on spending his weekend away from the cockpit of a Delta Airlines 747 on the ground until heavy waters flooded Fremont and changed his plans.
I felt helpless, because Fremont being an island, I offered my services as a pilot.
He rented a passenger plane from the Millard Airport and took off from the tarmac at 8 o'clock Sunday morning. He soared round trip to Wahoo, to Fremont, and back over a dozen times.
Every plane was full, either people or supplies, if not both.
Saving friends and neighbors who weren't lucky enough to make it out like his family did.
My wife, by herself, sirens going off at 2 a.m., she evacuated both our 2 kids, both under 4. It was kind of freaky because I wasn't there.
Bringing many to dry land, helping feed and clothe even more. But he's not the only one in on the air invasion.
Flying in and out of Millard all day, flying in supplies, flying people out, in and out. So he's just one of many of the several pilots that were out here doing the same thing.
Planes line the runway at Millard, powered by pilots looking to offer aid during this state of emergency.
We take care of our own.
They just felt the empowerment to help their community out.
Boots on the ground, saviors in the skies. Those deserted from this disaster are no longer stranded.
The entire town of Craig is underwater. Here's a drone footage of the flooding, and the Missouri River keeps rising. Mandatory evacuation has been issued for the entire city of Craig because of the rising floodwater. Unfortunately, the flooding is expected to continue for the next few days. As we're seeing here in Utah, we will be seeing some rain coming in for the next couple of days with snow. The blue here is the snow that's going to come in on the northern part of Utah, up in the mountains. But for today's highs, we're not seeing very high degrees. We're seeing 56 in Salt Lake, 55 in Provo, and 53 down in St. George, 51 up in Logan, and 43 in Vernal. For the lows of the days, we are looking at 29 in Vernal, so below freezing, 35 in Logan, 41 in Salt Lake, and 40 in Provo, and 44 down in St. George. For our 5-day southern forecast, we are looking at rain today. However, the sky is clearing up, and we're seeing sun tomorrow and clouds with sunny days for the next couple of days in St. George. For the northern part of Utah, we're looking at rain today with rain tomorrow. Saturday will be better with clearer skies, and then some rain on Sunday with skies clearing up for the next part of the week, with the highest being 63 degrees on Tuesday. So we'll be seeing some rain and some sunshine coming in. So
sick of the wishy-washy.
See, I'm ready for that sun, and I think most people are. But
Hopefully.
if you haven't already been dreaming of summer, you will be now.
One of the most popular TV shows releases its 3rd season this July. Savannah Hegerhorst joins us now. Savannah, what TV show are we talking about?
Well, Amy, Netflix's most acclaimed series, Stranger Things, just released its 3rd season, and people are stoked.
We're not kids anymore. I mean, what did you think? We're just gonna sit in my basement all day?
The new season takes place over 1985's 4th of July. The trailer shows us lots of 80s pop culture references and glimpses of teen love and friendship. But most importantly, the trailer teases glimpses of danger and suspense, like a menacing gunman and, of course, huge upside-down styled monster. The trailer shows us that a summer really can change everything. People are so excited about this release that they may need to take a chill pill. Take a look at what this Stranger Things fan said. It's barely been 12 hours since the trailer dropped, and I still can't get over it. I might actually combust from excitement. But he's not the only one. Adele Anchors tweeted this: actual representation of me shouting about Stranger Things Season 3 over the next few months. People seem to be most excited about the new friendships formed, especially between the 2 female characters, Eleven and Max. Aaliyah said this. She said, "They are going to be such a soft and powerful duo. I can already feel it." And lastly, Erica Santiago said, This is exactly the kind of positivity I needed in my life right now. And frankly, I couldn't agree more."
BYU legend Jimmer Fredette is returning to the NBA. Who signed Jimmer and how long we can expect to see him in the league? Also, the NCAA tournament is underway this weekend with 4 of today's games happening right here in Salt Lake City. Who's playing here and when they'll be in action?
Hey Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry, I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Can birds draw pictures?
I don't have an answer for that.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look!
Todd's a great guy. I mean, look at him. What a sweetheart. Attaboy. Wait, Todd, what are you doing? How totally selfish and un-Todd-like of you. Come on, Todd. Come on, man.
Why don't you ever see elephants hiding in trees? Because they're really good at it. Yeah, I get it. Testing. Why did the girl ask the mushroom to dance? Because he was a fun guy.
Jimmer Fredette has agreed to a 2-year contract with the Phoenix Suns.
Here comes Jimmer. Long range!
Fredette last played in the NBA during the 2015-2016 season with the Knicks, but only appeared in 2 games. Jimmer's contract will have him with Phoenix for the rest of this season with a team option for next season. The Jazz will host Phoenix this coming Monday night. The Jazz won their 5th straight game in a blowout of the Knicks last night.
Took the worst of it in Toronto. Ball thrown by Marcus as Mitchell slams it home.
6 Jazz players scored in double figures, and Donovan Mitchell scored a game-high 30 points as the Jazz beat the Knicks 137-116. The win and a few losses from other Western teams puts the Jazz in the 5th spot in the Western Conference standings, only 2.5 games back of the 3rd-place Rockets. Utah will continue its East Coast road trip against the Hawks in Atlanta tomorrow night.
Puts it up with the left hand and banks it in.
Dwayne Wade hit that clutch bucket late in the Heat's game against the Spurs last night to help out the Jazz by ending San Antonio's 9-game winning streak. The loss dropped the Spurs a half game behind the Jazz to a 3-way tie in the standings at 42 and 30.
Rising up, drills the
The Thunder are one of those teams tied with the Spurs in the standings after Kawhi Leonard and the Raptors beat the Thunder in overtime last night. The 2 teams will meet again tomorrow night.
4 seconds for Conley. Starts his drive, floats it up and in. Valanciunas fouled by Capella with 1/10 of a second.
Harden's 57 points wasn't enough as the Grizzlies beat the Rockets after Clint Capella fouled Jonas Valanciunas with 0.1 seconds left on the clock last night. The loss dropped the Rockets to just 2.5 games ahead of the Jazz. The wait is finally over. March Madness is here.
Watching his life as Shamari Ponds on a deep 3.
Arizona State beat St. John's in the final game of the first 4 last night to set the stage for this weekend's action. 4 of today's games will be held in Salt Lake City at Vivint Smart Home Arena, featuring 1-seed Gonzaga, 4-seed Kansas, and 5-seed Auburn. Utah State was the only local team to make the tournament this year. The Aggies will take on Washington tomorrow at 4:50 p.m. Seattle Mariners right fielder Ichiro Suzuki announced he is retiring after today's game against the Oakland A's. Ichiro, a native of Japan, announced his retirement after the Mariners' 2-game series in Tokyo this week. Ichiro played 19 seasons in the MLB and was the first Japanese position player in MLB history when he made his debut in 2001. We'll be right back.
You're my friend.
I noticed you haven't really been yourself recently.
Yeah, I feel like something's up.
How are you?
Are you okay?
Is there anything you want to talk about?
I just want to know how you're feeling.
And listen, even if you don't know what to say, I'm here to talk.
No matter what you're going through,
I just want you to know I'm here.
I've got your back. When you want to talk, I'm here.
They call me Maxie, but I prefer tripod. I was your above-average four-legged homie, and then wham-bam minivan. Some people pity me. Now that's lame. I still run, fetch, and swim. And the ladies love me. I'm the ultimate wingman. Just don't ask me to high-five.
Animal rescuers in Oklahoma are helping an overweight chicken who can't stand anymore by fitting her with a custom wheelchair. The chicken's name is Colorado and is one of 25 chickens rescued from a defunct factory farm. Colorado was so overweight that her legs could not support her. Love and Arms, the shelter that took the chickens in, considered euthanasia but then saw another option, a chicken wheelchair. They are now focused on helping all the chickens reach a healthy weight through diet and exercise. Wow, okay, chicken wheelchair.
They're kind of cute though. Thanks for joining us today for Newsline.
For more information on our stories or to share them with your friends, check out our website.